morning, everyone. Good evening and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is Denzonos, and you're welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empaths free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality and I talk about personal and self-growth. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us, give us a like, share the video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back, and I thank you for your love and support. Now, I would like to thank most of you who joined us yesterday in the live feed. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for sharing my video. Thank you for the likes. We talked about awakening and the signs that you are spiritually awake. And I'm further going to talk about awakening, but this time I'm going to bring our attention to the black sheep of the family. So you guys have heard me every now and then. I've been talking about the black sheep, or rather some guys what they call the scapegoat. So in usually most of those dysfunctional families, they're the ones who get it. So those are the guys who get it. It's like they have got this sixth sense of just knowing things. They are the truth seekers. They are the truth seers. They are the seekers. And they're the ones who actually understand and see beyond the veil, and see usually and understand and comprehend things that other people in that family do not understand or do not even see. Now you see, as a black sheep, it does not matter what is your circumstance. It does not matter what you are going through. Of course, we already know the experiences we go through as black sheep of those families, as scapegoats. We know the abuse, the intensity of the abuse we go through on a daily basis when we're dealing with dysfunctional families. Now you see, most of the times, you have been trying to live with the rules. You've been trying to obey. You've been trying to abide. You've been trying to follow the norms. And you've been abiding to whatever it is has been going on with that family. So you have been usually part of the team. You have been a part of them. As much as that family has been bound into some kind of a spell, you have almost been having one foot out of that spell. So it's like you have not been fully dived into that spell, which is the reason why you having the ability to see these other little dots that other people cannot put together. When the time comes, and at the right time, you still have the ability to take the other foot out of that, out of those dynamics, and get out of that, and go ahead to live your best life. Now, at a certain point, the time will come, and the black sheep will wake. Now, when the black sheep awakens, it is almost unbelievable. Usually, it may happen if you have also been dealing with narcissists. Normally, it happens first of all with the narcissistic relationships or friendships, and then usually that kind of awakening also spreads on and carries on into your family. But sometimes it can happen whereby you're not in a relationship and it's just a family you've been dealing with for ages. You've been dealing with a very toxic family unit, and sometimes it can happen that you all of a sudden just snap out of it. You know what I mean? You just wake up one morning and you snap out of it. You can no longer take the abuse. You see it for what it is, and somehow your bulbs have gone on and you just snap out of it. So you walk out of it. So in either way, whichever situations, because like I've said as well, normally the family can happen during the second awakening. The family, waking up from the family usually is the second awakening. So the first awakening can happen in a friendship or family or relationship. The second awakening happens usually in families. And again, it keeps on going on and on and on, because usually you keep on getting these little awakenings about the environment around you that you've always been involved with. Now, it's unbelievable. It is almost hard to believe when you just wake up all of a sudden and you figure out that your own parents, they are dysfunctional. You know what I mean? You figure it out. You've already seen it, but this time it's like it's very clear to you. It's actually everything is in front of you, and it's almost hard to accept and to believe that your own parents, they're toxic, or sometimes you have got very, very difficult toxic family or family members, I don't know, brothers or whatever, sisters. It's very, very difficult to swallow. Guys, I can guarantee you, for the most of you guys who are black sheep, you can always concur with me that it is a very hard pill to swallow. So usually what happens is that the black sheep, when they wake, the first scenario, what will usually happen is they have awakened, they have all of a sudden woken up, they are seeing it, they see it. You know what I mean? And sometimes when you ask people what have they seen, is like sometimes it's even very difficult for them to explain to you what it is exactly they have seen, but they have seen it. For some reason, they have seen it. Not only see it, but they have snapped out of it. So it's a very scary occurrence. When you see it, guys, I've told you in my videos, you cannot unsee it. When you have seen it, that is, you have seen it. So there's no other way of reversing that thing you have seen, because remember now, you have seen that exact thing that you're not supposed to see. You were not supposed to see. It is exactly that veil that they had always covered on your eyes, over your face, all along the years, that you were not able actually to fully figure out what was this whole dysfunction happening behind the veil. Now you've woken up, you've seen it. It is overwhelming, ladies and gentlemen. As a black sheep, the first thing you will do usually, you're going around family members. You're telling them, hey, listen, guys, there is something happening. You might have seen this, you might have seen that, you could have figured this, or you could have figured it out. But I can tell you something. This is one of the most dangerous things, actually, some of the black sheep are doing. When you have awakened from a dysfunctional family, you're going to keep your mouth shut. Let me repeat this. When you have awakened and you have snapped out of a dysfunctional family unit, number one, you're going to keep your mouth shut. You are usually going to do everything in your power to make sure, I don't know what will be your financial situation at that moment, but what will be usually, you are going to secure a little bit of funds, because now you're coming face to face with the reality that for the future years to come, for the future time to come, you are actually going to do without your family. So you are now going to take a very serious decision to let your family go and to leave your family behind, and there's nothing you can do about it. So at this moment of awakening, you're unstoppable. You're walking out and nobody can stop you. It does not matter what kind of chains they'll tie on you. It does not matter what they will do, what kind of doors they lock behind your back. You will break through those doors. You are going to break out of that unit, because you have seen it. You cannot unsee it. So usually, in a dysfunctional family, there is a lot of family members in those units. So a lot of them, we have described a lot of roles here and there. We've talked about the golden child. We talked about the paralyzed child, the lost child. We talked about the enabling parent. We talked about other narcissistic brothers and sisters in the unit. We've talked about other toxic individuals in that unit. A lot of those individuals, I can guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of those individuals, they are asleep. It does not matter what you tell them. It does not matter you find them, you will slap them in the face. You will tell them, hey guys, listen, you need to wake up. This is what is happening. They will not. They don't hear you. Let me tell you something. When we talk about somebody being asleep, that person is really asleep, and they are really, really dead asleep. So it doesn't matter what you do. You can kick them up. You can slap them. You can throw them around all over the place. They're not going to wake up. So it does not matter what you do. It doesn't matter how much you try to convince them. They're not listening to you. So what do you do, black sheep, in those situations? You start securing a little bit of funds on the side, and then now you start to planning. You start to plan your exit very, very quietly, because when you're living a dysfunctional family, you're supposed to live very, very quietly, discreetly. You're supposed to disappear. Sometimes you might have to go actually in the night when they are sleeping, or sometimes you might have to wait until everybody has left the vicinity. Then you get your little belongings and you jump out of that unit, and you're never going to look back for whichever reason. So the overwhelming is like the overwhelming situation in this scenario is looking around you, and now all the veil is completely lifting from other people. So it's like, for example, you have discovered, or you have uncovered, unmasked a narcissistic parent around you. Now you're looking around and you're seeing, okay, so now you can fully understand who your sister is. You can fully understand who your brother is. You can fully understand who your uncles is. Guys, let me tell you something. One of the scariest moments you'll ever encounter as a black sheep is waking up. Not only do you uncover a narcissistic parent or narcissistic parents, you also uncover different members in that unit that have been all along been playing different kinds of roles. And again, A lot of those guys have been playing those roles even subconsciously without them knowing that they've been under some kind of a dysfunction. And again, we always have to remember that everybody will wake up or are going to wake up at their own time. The reason why the reason why you're the first to wake up, this is because you are the one who is going to lead, because you as a black sheep, you have been the leader. The reason of your whole punishments and torture and disgrace and humiliation in those units, that is because you have always been the leader. But it's only because a lot of those family units, they have never wanted and they will never actually acknowledge you as a leader. They will always want to make you feel you are less than everybody else around the team. But normally, on the spiritual level and the subconscious level, you are the leader and you're the one who is going to lead the whole entire generations to come into the future free of whatever it is you are into that family to break. So you're going to clear a lot of ancestral traumas, patterns, cycles, all these kind of things that have been following up in those families. You have awakened, so you start to see them. So one of the things as well that you will see is usually you are going to now discover what has been the dysfunction happening there, because now everything is the veil is lifting, everything is making sense. You're going to start to uncover. You will start usually to uncover one by one. Okay, so this is what has been happening. That was the cause of the deaths. That was the cause of the sicknesses. That was the cause of the narcissism. That was the cause of this. You are going to find sometimes there will be families, sometimes they are alcoholics, sometimes you'll meet families which are drug addicts. You'll meet a lot of things that have been hidden behind the surface in those families. And again, everybody has been living along and playing along, not knowing that they've been actually participating in carrying on those generations, which usually carry on to other future generations to come. But now as a black sheep, you have awakened. It is scary, ladies and gentlemen, having gone through that experience as a black sheep. It is very scary when you have figured out something and then you're looking around and you cannot explain this. It is very, very difficult. I can guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, it is difficult to wake up to something extremely toxic and serious, life-threatening, evil, and then you cannot sit down with other family members in that moment to explain to them, guys, listen, this is what is happening. I've tried in those days, as a person who has done that as well, I've tried in those early days. But then I was like, it looks like they're not ready to listen, because the family has been tied together. The whole family is bonded together, is bound together. You know what I mean? So this is some kind of a very, very serious deep spell. You can never, for whichever reason, unless somebody has snapped out of it, you can never be able to wake up anybody in that unit. They can never be able to see you. They don't hear you. They don't understand you. So sometimes you'll even sometimes see them calling you crazy because you're trying to speak out. You're trying to kind of come around and warn them or tell them things like this. They cannot understand you. They cannot hear you. So that's where a lot of times comes whereby they usually try to call you crazy. They try to call you stupid. You're the rebellious one. You're the outcast, which you've always been anyway. But this time it's going to become very, very obvious. They are all going to gang up as one team, and now they're all going to point the guns, the barrels, towards a direction. It is very important, black sheep, in this video. I want to let you know, when you have awakened, what will happen is that you have uncovered something that you were not supposed to see. You have uncovered something that has been hidden, and a lot of times the parents, the leaders in that team, in that unit, in that family, they have been knowing for generations. They have always known about this. They have just decided to keep it a secret, but they have always known about it. So you have now uncovered it on your own. You're going to keep your mouth shut. You're going to carry on doing the regular things you've always done. You will take it easy. You will pretend nothing has happened. You will talk to everybody like you've always done. You don't change your ways. You don't change your style. You don't change your attitude. You have known it. It is going to take you a lot of practice and a lot of strength, but it is what you're going to do to keep your mouth shut. And now you're going to devise the means necessary for you to exit that unit. Very slowly, it may take you a while. Slowly and quietly, you're going to start exiting out of that unit, and you're going to go as far away as you can from that unit. So wherever you go, you do not mention anything to other family members where you are. So nobody actually should know where you are. They are not supposed to know where you have left, because when they ever find out where you have gone, they are going to keep on coming around and stalking you and bothering you. You know what I mean? So they're going to keep on trying to find you, because as a scapegoat, you are a very important role in that unit. You cannot, almost, it's like you are the foundation of that unit. The entire unit has been thriving off of your energy without even you knowing it. You have been like the foundation, the root of that unit. Now you're going out of that. A lot of stuff will usually happen when you leave. But that has got nothing to do with you. So the foundation has got to, first of all, shake up. You know what I mean? When you work and get out of those units, you let the foundation to start shaking up, and everybody now starts to awaken at their own time. Because I can guarantee you, when you have stepped out of those units, those guys, it doesn't matter whether they want it or they don't want it. The whole paradigm in that unit is going to change, because now at some point, in the beginning, they may try to ignore it. They'll run away from it. They'll try to pretend they have not seen anything, they have not heard anything, but in the subconscious level, deep inside them, within them, they're starting to see exactly what has been happening, because you're out of there now. The whole dynamics is playing out in front of them. The whole sicknesses, ancestral patterns, cycles, everything is hitting them in the face. Because now, for the very first time in ages, you're out of that unit, and everybody can see everything for what it is. There has been narcissistic parents, you've seen them. There have been a couple of toxic brothers and sisters, narcissistic sometimes, you have seen them. You figure them out. And there's nothing you can do. It has never been your fault. It will never be your fault. There's nothing you can do. You cannot save them. The only person left to save is yourself. How do you save yourself? You're walking out peacefully, quietly. Sometimes you may not even have to say goodbye. If you have to, let it actually put out that picture that actually you made, want a break or something like that, or you'll be returning at some point. But make sure that you do not cause a lot of chaos on your departure, because your departure sometimes is going to be very difficult. When you're making a lot of noise and letting everybody know, and you're shouting around the place, you're pointing fingers here and fingers there, it is going to become very difficult, because you, as a black sheep, I can guarantee you, the family will usually gang up against you, because they will believe you're the one who is trying to crumble and to bring down the family. So you walk out, go out there, work on yourself, and let other people lead by example, and let other family members, if they want to, let them know where you're at. I mean, like psychologically, mentally, or even evolutionarily. As you grow, let them know where you are on your journey of evolution. A lot of them, when they want to, if their time comes, they will snap, they will wake up, they may decide to take a different route in life. And for the few generations to come, they're not going to have to deal with those traumas that have been carrying on in those families for years. So black sheeps, it is understandable that your journey is different. It is understandable that your journey, first of all, is very difficult. Your journey is very different. You know, you are the awakened one, you are the wise one, you are the knowledgeable one. But at the same time, nobody wants to recognize that. You know what I mean? They always want to push you under the bus and make you feel you're nothing, you're worthless. Nobody will validate your findings or your life or whatever it is got going on with you. Nobody wants to validate you. But at the moment when you wake up, that is when they are going to be forced to validate you by force. Why? Because you're a chosen one, and you are there to break these generational cycles and patterns and cycles and patterns, and they are never going to continue in the future generations to come. That has been the role of a black sheep in a toxic family unit. So let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below, guys. You always know I love and appreciate your support. You can always book a session with me, whether you're dealing with narcissistic abuse, whether you're a black sheep or a scapegoat, whether it is about self-development and growth. We can talk about a lot of things. Spirituality, you can name it all. Everything you need, emails, they are in the description below. If you would like to donate and support my channel, you can always reach out to me. My Cashapp and PayPal will also be in the description below. Your donations and support is welcome at all times. Much love and blessing, guys, and I'll catch you in my next one. There's almost signing out. Peace.